Now, I am honestly not the biggest fan of Black Friday. I usually find it quite overwhelming and even a bit of a turn-off, which is why I have never made a Black Friday video. However, this year, quite a few of you have asked me for recommendations for Black Friday deals on skincare devices, skincare, and even supplements. So I thought it might be helpful to put together a quick video talking about, first of all, these skincare devices I personally use on a regular basis and would therefore recommend, as well as some skincare and supplements I am actually going to stock up on, or they have stocked up on this Black Friday. Let's start with skincare devices. I have almost all these skincare devices I personally use on a regular basis right in front of me. However, I won't go into too much detail about every single device because, first of all, I don't want this video to be forever long nor overwhelming. But I do have separate videos on almost all of these devices, or at least modalities, which I will link down below. And I also have a video showing you how I use these devices and how I fit them into my daily, weekly, or monthly schedule or routine. I will also link that down below. Now let's start with red light therapy, which is a modality I wholeheartedly believe in and use on an almost daily, if not daily basis. Quite a few of you asked me which red light therapy mask I would recommend. I have tried quite a few different red light therapy masks over the past few years. Currently, I have two which I really love. The first one is the Current Body Series 2 mask. What I love about this mask is, first of all, how flexible it is. Because of that, it is incredibly comfortable to wear, yet it also fits nice and snugly. So first of all, you can multitask wearing this, moving around a lot. It's not going to go anywhere. But also because it fits so snugly, the LEDs are in contact with the skin, which is nice. Also, the Current Body Series 2 mask has this little submental piece covering the chin area or turkey neck area. This only has one program. It is a 10-minute program combining red and near-infrared. You cannot separate red from near-infrared, which is one thing I don't really like about this mask. Though personally, I always combine red and near-infrared. But I know some of you, if, for example, you are struggling with melasma, you might just want to use red and not near-infrared. If that's you, this mask is not for you. The other mask I really, really love is the Msysama Prana mask. Now, the Msysama Prana mask is also very flexible. Not quite as flexible as the Current Body Series 2 mask, but it is still incredibly comfortable to wear. Yet it doesn't fit quite as snugly as the Current Body Series 2 mask. Regardless, you can still wear this while multitasking, moving around. It's not going to go anywhere. As you can see, the Msysama Prana mask does not have a submental part. However, it does have LEDs throughout the lip or mouth area, which I think is brilliant because our lips is often an area we would like to see some improvement as well. This has 4 different programs, a 1-minute, 3-minute, 6-minute, and 9-minute program. Within all of these programs, you can choose to combine red and near-infrared, separate red from near-infrared. It also has a program combining red and blue, which is great for acne, and it has pulsed light technology. Both of these masks are fantastic. It just depends on what it is you are looking for. Is it important to you to treat your lips at the same time or your turkey neck area? Do you want to be able to separate red from near-infrared? Do you want the addition of pulsed light technology or blue light? Like I said, it just depends on what it is you're looking for, but you cannot go wrong with either one of these two. And by the way, I will link all the Black Friday deals for every single device, skincare and supplement I'm going to talk about down below in the info box, rather than calling it out separately, because again, I want this video to be as short and sweet as possible. But please check the info box. And if you don't know how to get there, some of you have told me you don't know how to get to the info box. Under the video, there is a little bit of a write-up, and then it says more and 3 dots. You press on the more, and that opens the info box. And then all the info will be right in there. But talking about treating your turkey neck area, I really don't like that word. We have to come up with a different one. If you have a better word for this area right here, let us know down below. But if you decide, I have so many devices here, they are sticking together. If you decide to get the Msysama prana mask, Msysama does have a neck and neck mask, which actually has a little submental part, which again is brilliant. Because every other neck and neck mask I have seen available on the market just has the neck and neck part, not the submental part. And just like with the face mask, you can separate red from near infrared, you can combine them. It has pulsed light technology and 4 different programs as far as length. Again, a 1 minute, 3 minute, 6 minute, and 9 minute program. And then something else Msysama just came out with. So I can't necessarily tell you that I would highly recommend this because it is brand new. I've only had it for a couple of weeks. I'm currently testing it, but I'm very excited about it and I'm sure I'm going to love it. So if you're looking for something like this, right now might be the time because Msysama is having such a great Black Friday sale. But this is the Msysama hand LED. And what's amazing about this one right here, again, there are plenty of hand LEDs available on the market, but this is the only one I have seen that actually allows you to multitask while using it. And again, like the other Msysama LED devices I just shared with you, even the hand glove has pulse light technology. You can combine red and near infrared. You can separate red from near infrared. Now, of course, if you don't want to bother with a mask, a neck and neck, a glove, you could get a full body panel. I have a full body panel, which I absolutely love. I didn't bring it out here because it is a tad heavy. It hangs on the back of my bathroom door. But I would only recommend you get a panel if you actually are the kind of person that takes the time to either sit or stand in front of it. Because when you use a panel, you can't necessarily multitask. You could be on the phone or listen to a podcast, but that's about it. Aside from that, you just have to stand there for about 10 minutes. However, if you have the time and patience to do so, I would highly recommend a full body panel. Because that way you don't just get the cosmetic benefits of red light therapy, but the full body benefits. My panel is by Light. Again, I will link everything I am sharing with you down below in the info box, along with the Black Friday deals. But I have had my panel for about 3 years now. I absolutely love it. Though, to be honest, I don't use it as much as I would like to, which would be daily. So on the days I don't use my panel, I will use one of the 2 masks I just shared with you. Now, another device I didn't bring up here because it is a bit heavy, but I absolutely love and can wholeheartedly recommend is my portable infrared sauna. Like I said, I use my sauna daily if I can. It is something I really look forward to. And even Bean likes it. Around 6 o'clock, I will say to Bean, let's go take a sauna. And she runs straight into the bathroom. And then she wants to lay right back here. She loves it, and so do I. So if you are in the market for a portable infrared sauna, I can highly, highly recommend the Therasage. I've had this particular model for about 1.5 years now, but I actually have 2 because when we lived in Europe, I also purchased one. Europe, of course, has different power. So when we lived in Europe, I purchased one, and you may have seen it in other videos. It was black. And when I moved back to the US, I purchased another one with American power. That is how much I love my portable infrared sauna. I have 2 of them. And if you're curious about the benefits of sauna, I actually made a whole video on the benefits of sauna or heat exposure. I will also link that down below. Another device I use on a daily basis if I can, and didn't bring here because again it is a bit big, is my PEMF mat. PEMF stands for Pulsed Electromagnetic Field. I actually want to make a whole separate video on PEMF because I find it fascinating and quite beneficial. But for now, just know that I actually do use my PEMF mat on a daily basis if I can. I usually around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Bean and I will take a little break. We will take the PEMF mat, put it on the bed, and lay on it for about 20 minutes. Bean loves it just as much as I do. So if you are in the market for a PEMF mat, I really love my PEMF mat by Higher Dose. And talking about Higher Dose, another device I use on a daily basis is my Higher Dose red light therapy cap. I have talked about this in several different videos. This combined with the Calcium Advanced Hair Care System, which I will talk about in a second, has made a huge difference with my seasonal hair loss. For the past, sorry, Beanie went downstairs, now she got antsy. She's playing down there, hopefully it's not too loud. But for the past 15 years, I struggled with seasonal hair loss, meaning throughout the summer months I shed excessively. This year is the first year in 15 years I did not experience seasonal hair loss. And it was because of a combination of using the Higher Dose LED cap for 10 minutes a day, combined with using the Calcium Advanced Hair Care System. So if you're in the market for some red light therapy for the scalp, I can highly recommend the Higher Dose red light therapy cap. I have used other red light therapy devices for the scalp. In fact, Current Body sent me their LED helmet a couple of years ago. I hated that thing. I looked like an astronaut. It was so uncomfortable and impractical to use. But this, like I said, I would highly recommend if you are looking to treat your scalp with red light therapy. Now, another question I get quite frequently is which doctor pen would I personally recommend? I have 3 different doctor pens. I have the 86S, the M8S, and this one is so finicky, it turns on so easily, and the BioPen Q2. I actually did make a video comparing the BioPen Q2 to the M8S, which I will also link down below. But theoretically, these all do the same thing. They pierce tiny little holes into our skin. The way these differ is the BioPen Q2 has 2 added modalities. It has EMS electroporation, which honestly I never use, and it has red and blue LED, which I think is a bit gimmicky. Because unlike using a mask or standing in front of a panel, here the red or blue light therapy is in contact with my skin for mere seconds. It's not going to do much. However, I find myself reaching for the BioPen Q2 most frequently when I medical microneedle, because I find it to be the least uncomfortable out of these 3, even at the same depth. That being said, if you don't think you're going to use the added modalities, these are fantastic as well, or any of the other doctor pens. Just make sure you get them from a reputable site, because there are quite a few fake doctor pens floating around on the market. I will link 2 sites down below where I get my doctor pens, and both of them are going to have a Black Friday sale. And one of the sites, Luxlib Labs, also sells some fantastic serums you can use for cosmetic or medical microneedling. I know quite a few of you order serums for microneedling from Luxlib Labs. I do as well. And I will link some of my favorite microneedling serums down below in the info box as well. Another device I use on an almost daily basis is my Zip Halo. This is a micro and nanocurrent device, and I actually have a video with the founder of the Zip Halo, Melanie Simon, which is very informative. But in a nutshell, the Zip Halo is a nano and microcurrent device I use very frequently, almost on a daily basis. It comes with an app, and I believe at this point the app has about 12 different programs, but you don't have to use the app. It also has a pre-programmed program, which is 4 minutes long, and you can freestyle that program. I actually use that program quite frequently, But I also use the Founder's Favorite, which was just renamed Collagen something. I will put it right here. And I use the Lip Program and the Plumping Program. Now, one thing I need to say here, even though I love all the devices I just shared with you, and again, I use them on a regular basis, we have to really set our expectations with at-home devices. None of these devices, sorry, Bean is going crazy down there, but none of these devices, aside from maybe Dr. Penn's, are going to give us in-office treatments, or we're not going to look, after using microcurrent, we're not going to look like we had a facelift, or the plumping program I use on here is not going to give me filler-like results. With all of these devices, results are subtle, and we have to continue to use these devices on a regular basis. It's like exercise. We can't go to the gym once, lift weights, and think we're going to have muscle from now on. There is definitely an upkeep. So if you don't think you're going to use any of these devices on a regular basis, I would say do not waste your money. And also, again, set your expectations realistically. These are at-home devices, which over time can give us nice, subtle improvements. But again, we're not going to look like we had a facelift or filler or something like that. And that being said, I love my Zip Halo. I use it almost daily. I have several different microcurrent devices. I think at this point I have 4 different microcurrent devices. This is the only one I use. And talking about other devices, I have a whole box, actually 2 boxes full of devices, which I don't use. I have some radio frequency devices, some at-home lasers, some other devices in there. I tried them. I didn't see any results. They were too time-consuming, whatever. I don't use them. These devices I'm sharing with you right now are really the only ones I would recommend because I use them on a regular basis and have seen results from them. The last device I use on a regular basis is the Oral Lift. I have made several videos on the Oral Lift, which I will also link down below. But in a nutshell, this is a mouth guard looking like device, which is very easy to use, but I have seen incredible results from using this. Like I said, I will link all my Oral Lift videos down below, but if you are in the market for an Oral Lift, check out their Black Friday sale. Okay, as far as skincare, something I have already purchased for Black Friday is the Allies of Skin Copper Tripeptide and Ectoin Advanced Repair Serum. I have talked about this in several videos, and I either use this as my peptide step at night, or I will use this with cosmetic needling. I've already repurchased this with their Black Friday sale. And then something else I am going to repurchase, I also just talked about this in my last video, is the Corpus Body Butter. This is an incredibly lovely smelling, beautiful body butter. And they are having, I believe, a 20% off Black Friday sale. So I will definitely purchase a couple of these. And then I'm also going to get another one. I also talked about this in my last video. Another one of the Educated Mess Golden Hour Vitamin C Serum. I believe they are having a 25% off Black Friday sale. Again, everything is going to be linked in the description box. And then the last thing as far as skincare, though it's not really skincare, it is my Lash and Brow Serum by Revive. I have used this for several years. In fact, I made a whole video on this. This is amazing. I usually tint my lashes every few months. I haven't tinted them in about 3 months. But I think you can still see how long they are, even though they are a bit light right now. And that's from this. This is incredible. I have, like I said, used this for about 3 years. It is prostaglandin free. It's just peptides and growth factors. I get zero irritation, but it definitely works. Revive also has skincare. I have tried some of their skincare and I wasn't too wowed. So this will be the only thing I will be purchasing off the Revive website for Black Friday. If you have tried some of the Revive skincare and you feel differently about it, let us know down below. And then I'm also, of course, going to stock up on the Calism Advanced Hair Care System. This I don't ever want to be without. I have made several videos on this. And like I said, using this combined with the higher dose red light therapy cap has made a huge difference. So this I'm definitely going to stock up on. And then lastly, I have some supplements I have already stocked up on. One of them, of course, is my Desert Island supplement, NMN. And with my NMN, I always take a methyl donor. And for my methyl donor, I take TMG, which I didn't need to stock up on because I had quite a bit left. But if you're curious about why you want to take a methyl donor with NMN, I made a whole video on it. I will link it down below. So I got some NMN already. I also stocked up on my second Desert Island supplement, which is creatine monohydrate. I have several videos on creatine monohydrate as well, which I will link down below. You're going to be busy watching all those videos. But I actually got 6 of these containers. And I also stocked up on my third Desert Island supplement, which is high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. And I totally forgot because I didn't bring it up because I ran out of space on my desk. But I also stocked up on the Glynac or glycine and N-acetylcysteine, as well as SIRT6 activator. But for those of you who asked which supplements I would highly recommend and don't want to be without, my Desert Island supplements are definitely NMN, creatine, and high molecular weight hyaluronic acid. Those 3 I can actually feel a physical difference from. So these are all the things I personally already stocked up on or am going to stock up on. And then the skincare devices, like I said, I use on a regular basis and would highly recommend. But I would love to know, what are you going to stock up on this Black Friday? Or do you have any recommendations of things I haven't talked about but you think are worthwhile stocking up on? Let us know down below. How many more times can I say stock up on? I hope this video was helpful, and I hope Bean wasn't too loud in the background. Thank you so much for being here. Any questions or comments, of course, please leave them down below. Always love to hear from you. And let me know if you enjoyed this Black Friday video. Like I said, I have never made one because I'm not usually the biggest fan of Black Friday. But as you can see, this year I am actually taking advantage. I think this is the most I have ever purchased or am going to purchase for Black Friday. But anyways, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, bye.